What's up, everybody? My name is Adam Palmer. This is Daily Nonsense. On today's show, we are going to be talking about an issue with two Topps products that recently came to light. Also, we are going to be talking about the PSA announcement they made about their pricing and turnaround times. If you like this video, make sure you hit the like button. If you're a new viewer, make sure you hit subscribe so you don't miss any future Daily Nonsense content. Let's get into it. Before we start the show, I want to give a shout out to my parents. They just got back from Ireland. They got me this jersey while they were out there. It is hurling. I think we're still trying to figure out exactly what the jersey was for, but it's very cool. I want to give a shout out to them. The two topics we're going to be talking about today will be a little bit complaining. I will be doing a little bit of complaining about two companies I usually don't complain about. And I know some people might sit here and say, well, don't you complain a lot on this show? And to that, I'm going to say, just sit down and enjoy the two topics we're going to be talking about today. So first, we have PSA announcing they are going to be doing two things in September here. I think it's gone into effect now at this point. I think a lot of people were trying to get in some orders before they switch some of these things. I would imagine they probably will just say, hey, we already announced this is happening. Even if you got orders in, we probably are going to have to charge you more. I don't know if they would do that necessarily, but they could if they wanted to, because they can do whatever they want, clearly. So PSA announced they're going to be increasing their pricing and increasing the turnaround times for mainly their value and bulk submissions, which last week I talked about how it feels like I'm doing the same show over and over again, or at least like doing the same show that I've already done in years past. And PSA raising their prices and increasing their turnaround times is something that they have done in the past. So this is not like totally out of the realm of possibility. I just don't really understand what they are doing or why they're doing this. You know, on their statement on their website, they said that we're just trying to make the experience better for collectors. And the problem with that, it's a little condescending, if I'm going to be honest. If they want to increase the pricing, if they want to make the turnaround times longer, just do it. Don't be like, we're trying to make the experience better, because the two things that people complain the most about is the price and the turnaround times. So if you are making both of those things worse for customers, you're not really doing that. You're not really making the experience better for collectors. If you're saying that you want to do these things so that way you can, like, I just don't know what experience they're trying to make better here. Grading cards is already such an important part of the hobby, and it's something that people will do, I mean, kind of almost no matter what. I think that they are just trying to, I don't know, like take some of the flipping aspect or take some of the profit back for people who are just grading and flipping. It just doesn't make much sense to me why they would want to increase pricing and turnaround times. Obviously, it's because they want more money. Now, granted, it's not like a huge increase. It's only like $2 or $3. But, you know, Clever Cube and Alex, who also has a show here, I was watching his video about this, and he was saying, like, if you're doing a value bulk submission and you submit 20 cards, you're essentially paying now for an extra card that's not going to get graded. If PSA wants to do all these things, that's fine, but don't then sit there and say that it's because you're trying to make the experience better for collectors. Just don't even make a statement about it. Just say we're doing this, and you don't have to add these extra things onto the statement, because like I said, they're saying that they're trying to make the experience better for collectors, but the two things that people as collectors want is cheaper grading and quicker turnaround times, which are they trying to push people back towards SGC? Because that's literally what SGC was for so long. It was a quicker, cheaper alternative to PSA, which is one of the reasons why I really like SGC. But now they're trying to get rid of that, and they're also increasing. I just don't understand what the exact plan is here for PSA, or why they think that this is going to make the experience better. I just don't know what about it is going to make the experience better. That's sort of my, I think, biggest issue with this change that's coming in the next couple days. I don't think I've mentioned this on the show, but I went to an estate sale last week, and I bought a bunch of card stuff. The person that owned the house was a card person. They had like a whole, like, not like a warehouse, but like a garage and then a side garage with a bunch of cards. And I was going through them, and I didn't really know where to start here with some of the organizations. So I was actually, luckily, Chris Sewell posted one of his videos, friend of the channel, about going through his card room. And I'm going to use some of his tips, honestly, to organize some of these cards, because I have a bunch of player boxes, and I don't really know where to start with the organization, but that's kind of what my plan is for the next couple weeks. The other story that I have some complaining to do is about Tops and some of the things that I've seen on social media about what they're doing with their checklists. So, with Tops Disney Chrome, apparently there is a Tom Hanks autograph that was not on the original checklist. And then I also saw with Topps Finest Wrestling, Logan Paul was part of the promotion for what they were selling to people as like dealers, and then he's not on the checklist. I also saw this was a while ago that Evelyn Goria was not on the bat checklist with the Charizard, like in the original stuff that Topps sent, which that one I couldn't exactly confirm. Chris Harris was the one that put that info out on Twitter. So I'm going to trust him that he knows what he's talking about because he's been in this industry for forever. And I think, he on Twitter has some great stuff that he puts out at Stale Gum. That's his Twitter handle. But they were saying that the Longoria bat was not on the original checklist, and now it's there, which I remember them promoting the card. So whether it made it to the checklist or didn't make it to the checklist, they were promoting it like it was going to be in there, I guess. So like in theory, that's not as big of a deal as I think it's these other two things. The Logan Paul thing, they're selling something that ends up not being there, which that's an issue. And then on the opposite side, they're also selling something that with something that isn't in there, like, or maybe I said it in reverse, but it's like with Logan Paul, they sold it with him in there. It's not in there. They didn't sell it with the Tom Hanks or the Will Smith autographs on the checklist. So my complaining here is just that, like, I don't think we can be doing these mystery things or changing the checklist with what Topps has already sold. I think it is very dangerous, a very, very dangerous precedent for Topps to try and set, that they just have complete control over what is and isn't in the product and what they are or are not selling. I just don't think that Topps should be allowed to sell something and then not have the thing in there. I think it's also, like I said, very dangerous where there is players, or there's people, not players because they're actors, that are in the product that are not on the checklist. If they want to say that there's some sort of mystery redemption, like they've done mystery redemptions in the past, which I'm fine with. Like they did that with like Vladimir Guerrero, and I think it was either Eloy Jimenez or I think it was Eloy Jimenez. They did it with, like, they said there was a mystery redemption, and then later on, they said who the player was, who that mystery redemption was. That's not, I don't think, what they did here. This is just a product that has extra autographs in it. And I, in theory, am fine on that end of the spectrum. I'm not fine with them including something and then them taking it off. And I feel like that goes sort of without saying why I feel like that's kind of an issue. But again, I just hope that going forward, I don't know what's going on here. Like I'm sort of speculating, and that's something I do a lot on this show also, is that the products that Topps is putting out, the departments are not communicating correctly. And that is an issue if I am, somebody at Topps, or I am Michael Rubin or Fanatics. If the departments aren't communicating and they're not promoting the products correctly, that is more of an issue, because we're not dealing in some ho-hum hobby here. Like, this is like, there's a lot of money to be made. There's a lot of money in this industry. So the fact that we can just be promoting things that are not in there is an issue, because like the autographs, that is what people are chasing. That's what people want. That's where the money is. So it's like, if they're just going to be doing these things, it's just not, I don't think it's the right way to do it. Like, if they are saying that they're going to be putting stuff in there, just say that it's a mystery redemption. Say that there's something in there. Like, at least tell people that there's going to be these extra things that are coming out of the product. Because again, maybe they didn't want to drive up the prices necessarily by saying there was a Will Smith autograph in this product, but it's like, how are they going to then sell the product if people just don't even know what could be in it half of the time, it seems like. That's all we've got for today's episode. Make sure you leave a comment. Let us know what you thought about the topics. Also, make sure to come back here every day to the Sports Card Nonsense YouTube channel for more daily nonsense. Thank you all for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.